Hey, it's Barron Cruz, and welcome to the video called The Big Lie That Older Guys Are Told About Dating. Now, I've helped thousands of guys around the world master their confidence and success with women, but that's really not what's important. What's important is that I know how difficult it can be trying to jump back into the dating scene as an older guy after either getting out of a marriage or maybe you just never had much success in the past. I also realize how huge of a negative impact this can have on your overall satisfaction and happiness in life. But I'm going to teach you exactly, step by step, how you can leverage your age and maturity to attract a beautiful, high-quality woman into your life in a way that would have never been possible when you were younger. But let me be clear, this isn't your typical gold chain, leather motorcycle, jacket wearing pickup program made for college frat bros. This is a complete program designed for mature men over the age of 30 who want to have their choice with women and not have to run around a dance club annoying people to do it. In this free training video, you're going to learn everything that you need to know about how to meet, date, and get into a relationship with an awesome woman. Plus, see how you can take advantage of social matrix hacks to get an unfair advantage over other guys. I'm going to give you an example of this near the end of the video, so be sure to watch through to the very end. The average guy will be remarried within 3.5 years of his divorce. So if that's you, now's the time that we got to put everything possible in your favor. It's all very easy to apply, you just need the roadmap. Because if you take what's going on in your life today and extrapolate it out 3 years from now, where will you be? We need to really be focused on keeping our lives going in an upward trajectory. And attracting a fantastic and supportive woman into your life is a big part of that. I like to look at it this way. Our brains are just like any other computer that we use every day. But let me ask you a question. If you didn't load the program Microsoft Word onto your computer, would you expect that your computer would be able to run Microsoft Word? No, of course not. That's ridiculous. But this is exactly what most guys believe with dating and interacting with women. They haven't learned the skill set, but just expect that magically they'll be great with women and know what to say and know the moves to make. And when they aren't, they have no idea what to do or where to turn. Growing up, we're fed the very deceptive Disney Prince lie that promises us if we only behave like Prince Charming and put her on a pedestal and always treat her like a flawless princess, that she'll magically fall for us. How's that been working for you? This literally couldn't be further from the truth, and it truly makes my stomach hurt even to say that. The problem is, it's currently in vogue to emasculate men and make them look like clueless dopes. Men have to kind of apologize for being men, but then the minute you give in to that constant pressure of emasculation and just accept your role as the standard, always got it wrong guy, women immediately lose all respect for you. Now, this is bad for the average man, but it's great for us, because if we can become one of the now few men who understand this, it allows us to stand out as one of the few remaining real men like never before. Have you ever wondered how you can find the time to meet the type and quality of women that you're interested in and not have to go to a loud bar to do it? By the way, the technique I'm going to talk about pertaining to this works great for guys who don't like approaching women in public. Have you ever wondered how it would feel to be able to present yourself in an ultra confident, high status way, even if you're not a filthy rich 6'4" male model, and if you're like 95% of guys over 30, maybe you've gained a few pounds around the middle. That's okay too. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to know that every time you go on a date, you'll be able to come up with unlimited engaging things to say on the fly and look like the guy she's been waiting for by the end of the date? We're actually going to talk about this a little further down in the video. Have you ever wondered how you could bring up any baggage that you may have in your past in a way that portrays confidence rather than shame or embarrassment? Have you ever wondered how you can emerge from the crushed, devastated, brokenhearted, and ultra unconfident self-image that can come from a divorce to knowing that when you go on a date, you'll be treated like a high-status celebrity, which will make her first impression of you like something that of legend. Well, let's talk about that right now. Let's say you complete the program and it's time to get the ball rolling and you want to put to work a few of the online dating hacks. So you throw up a picture and you're sure that the picture was taken without a flash because you now know that pictures taken with that harsh light from the flash on average make you look 7 years older. You also make the counterintuitive move of using a picture that you're not smiling in and your eyes aren't looking directly at the camera. Another couple tips that will increase your attractiveness by an average of 45%. You send out the tailored template email that I'm going to walk you through to a few girls that you're interested in and you get a few responses. And after 3 back and forths, which is the statistical best practice, you ask her out for drinks. Cool. But here's the deal. Maybe you haven't been going out a lot lately, or maybe you don't have a strong social circle to roll with. Well, this is not a problem. Let me walk you through what I call the charisma code, which shows you how you can ensure you're treated like a man of significance when you show up on your date. The old mummy. All right. So what this illustrates is how she first establishes the impression. So when she first meets you, say you meet her at the corner of a street and you're going to walk to a restaurant, she can't see anything about you except for basically what you can see about this mummy. You can't tell anything about him. And the way that she is able to figure out your value and how she's going to filter everything you say in her first impression is how you interact with other people and how other people respond and treat you. And this is a front-loaded phenomena. So the first person that she sees you interact with, the strongest. The second one's still very strong. But by the end of that first night, she's going to have such a strong impression. And in actuality, within the first 5-10 minutes of seeing you interact with people, she's probably going to have, I'm just throwing these percentages out there, but I would be willing to guess 60 to 70% of the way that she perceives you figured out. So the first people you talk to, you're going to be taking off those towels or that toilet paper, whatever this dude's wrapped up in, and she's going to see you. And you want to be George Clooney under there. You don't want to be a bum. You want to be looking good. So what we need to do is we need to control for how people are going to treat us. We need to be sure that people treat us like a man of significance, so she will see us through that high status filter, and that will be established from that point, and she'll carry it all the way through the perpetuity of the relationship. All right, cool. But what if you just got out of a divorce, let's say, and you don't have a big group of friends to go out with to make you look cool? Or what if you're not extroverted and you don't enjoy talking to people you don't know? Well, it's a very simple formula I came up with called the charisma code. It's not that. It's very simple. Here it is. It's actually 5 steps. I'm going to walk you through it, and the beauty of it is the lack of variability. You can control for these things. Anytime you can increase your social status or the way you look with a woman with no variability, we want to do it. It's a no-brainer. There's no downside. All right, so let's look at this. So what we're going to do is between a week and 1 day from the first date, we're going to find the restaurant that we're going to go get a glass of wine, or we're going to go meet her to chat with. We're going to locate it. We're going to decide where we're going to go, and we're going to go there. And we're going to go, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go up to the hostess. And the whole premise of this concept is you are going to come across extremely well and memorably to everyone in important positions in this restaurant. And it starts with the hostess. Who's the first person you're going to see when you walk in there? The hostess. Who's the first person likely that your date is going to see you interact with? It's the hostess. So we want to be sure we're treated well. So we're going to walk in there. All we're going to do is make a little more small talk than most guys. So let's say you go in there and she says, hey, table for one. Say it's just you. You say, yeah. She's okay, just a second. You say, oh, cool. She says, how long have you been working here? And she says, oh, about a week. You say, oh, nice. You say, I actually just moved in here. Or if you didn't just move in there, say, hey, this is my first time here. How would you describe it? What's it like on the week? Is it a nice place to get a drink? And that's all it takes. And she's going to say, oh, yeah, actually the crowd gets kind of cool on the weekends. Usually Friday around 8 o'clock, it turns from kind of a businessy dinner crowd to a nice place. Now you got it. It's all you need to do. All you're going to respond, okay, cool. Appreciate the tip. That's it. All you're going to do is tell her something about you. This is my first time here. I just moved here. I've never eaten here before. I guess that's kind of the same thing as this is your first time here. What's it like on the weekends? Or just ask some question that she can give her input. Cool, that's it. Now she's going to remember you. Now you stand out. It doesn't take much. Now, the second thing you're going to do is the easiest part. You got your waiter. You have so much time with the waiter to be memorable. Just take your time. But what you want to do is you want to focus on asking her empathetic questions. And what I mean by that is you want to ask her questions that consider her thoughts and her opinions on things. So you're not going to say, what's good on this menu? That's amateur hour. Yeah, she gets to use some of her opinions, but that's not as engaging. That doesn't build that rapport. We want to show that we have empathy. You say, what's something on this menu that you feel like is so good but underrated that no one orders? You get so excited when someone orders it. Okay, you're sharing more emotion. You get to see here as I said that, I was getting excited when I said it, and she feels that. And just by saying that, it shows that you want her opinion. You started off like that. The entirety of the meal, you're going to have a different kind of rapport. She's going to remember. You can talk more about it. Run through some of the same stuff you did to the host. It's my first time here, actually. I'm thinking about coming back this weekend. What would you suggest? How are the bartenders? How's the cocktails? Anything like that. You're just rapping with her. Now you're going to be memorable with her. Okay, now what you're going to do towards the end of the meal, you're going to pick a dish that you really liked. And you're going to say, hey, does the chef have a minute just to come out here and chat? You're not going to say it's to compliment a dish, because if they know it's for that, they still probably would, but they may not. Oh, the chef's busy. He can't do this and this. So we don't want to give them that. So we want to be sure that we can see the chef. So they may think it could be something negative. You want that little hinge of fear in the back of their mind, because that means they'll definitely get him. So he comes out, and another thing that's kind of cool about that is if she goes back there and says, hey, this guy wants to talk to you, and the chef says, what about? And he says, oh, he really likes this dish. And the chef does come out. He's like, oh, here comes this clown. Hey, I really like this dish. Oh, yeah, cool, whatever, sucker, see ya. But if she says, I don't really know what he wants to talk to you about, now he may be actually expecting a problem, because more people ask to talk to the chef when there's a problem. So he's on edge. So when you come out there and compliment him on the dish, he's going to be relieved, and he's going to experience more wider range of emotion. So you're going to be more memorable. So you're going to say, listen, this escargot was fantastic. You made it the old school way with the drawn butter. Where did you go to culinary school? Where'd you get your chops? And now let him talk. The relief's off. He's enjoying the compliment. When's the last time anyone at a restaurant, let alone in his life, asked him where he went to school besides an interview? Nowhere. Now he's going to open. He's like, what was this? I've never seen you in here. Is this your first time here? Yeah, it actually is. I may be back here this weekend. Are you going to be around? Yeah, I am. Okay, cool. Nice. Okay, so now you got the chef. Now the last thing is the glue that brings it all together. So what we're going to do is, on our way out, by the hostess stand, we're going to ask to speak to the manager. The same way, we're not going to say what it's for. Can I speak to the manager? Now, what you're going to do is you're going to be sure that you're standing in proximity to the hostess and preferably the waiter, so they're going to hear this conversation. This is a big point on this. So one of the reasons is because the more that they see you and hear you talking, the more comfortable they're going to be, the more they're going to remember you. But most importantly, you're going to say to the manager, you can say, I just want to take a second and say, my waiter was so fantastic. I had such a great meal, such a great experience. Right when I came in, the hostess was great. I just really enjoyed my time. I just wanted to let you know that. Now, the hostess and maybe even the waiter hears you saying that. So what are you doing? I'm not sure if you've heard any of my other coaching about giving compliments, but when you give compliments, you put yourself in a position of authority. So now the hostess sees you in a position of authority. She's excited because you complimented her to the manager, and the manager, has some bearing on her trajectory of success within the company or the restaurant. And the manager remembers that, because everyone likes compliments. Oh, great. The manager's, this is her shift she's on. People had a great experience. Now she feels, oh, nice. Have you been here? Most likely to ask if you've been here. No, I haven't. I had a really good time, though. I'm actually going to start coming here. I may be back this weekend. Oh, that'll be great. I'll be here this weekend. Maybe we'll see you then. Boom. Now it's done. The stage is set. Let me ask you something. Now you go there Saturday. You walk in 7:30, 8 o'clock. If any of those 4 people see you, how are you going to be greeted? Barron, great to see you, man. Awesome. I'm glad you made it back. Oh, yeah, nice. Good to see you. And your date, before you even approach anyone, the first person you interact with comes up to you like you're a superstar. How do you think that hits her brain? How do you think she forms her impression of you when she sees that? And then you go to the hostess staff, and she's like, Barron, you came back for that drink. You're like, what are you, some sort of celebrity? How come everyone knows you? No, actually, we're just here. This is my second time here, but really friendly people. You're going to play it down. You're going to play it cool. Just by doing that, which is completely in your control, the rest of that date, she sees you through that filter. So whether your rap is immaculate or not that good, if it's not that good, she's going to think you're kind of the mysterious guy that doesn't talk that much. As opposed to if you walked in there on a Saturday night for the first time and the hostess is a little snippy. Sir, do you have a reservation? No, I don't. A table for two? Sir, you're going to have to wait 15 minutes. Take this buzzer. Okay, let's go stand over here. What kind of filter is she looking at you through after that happens? There's no coming back from it either way. So anyway, we're going to set ourselves up with this charisma coat. We're going to understand and appreciate the fact that there's zero variability. We can control all of these things so we know that we're walking into a place that's going to treat us like a man of significance and create that. The program is filled with practical lessons that spell out exactly what you need to do just like this. So if you feel like you're too old or out of shape or don't know what to say to women and maybe don't like approaching them in public, maybe you feel like with your baggage and history, you're just bound to die alone, well then this program was made for you. Right now, I just want you to start to get your brain tuned into what's possible for you going forward. In a few minutes, I'm going to give you a very counterintuitive strategy that you can use to automatically and subconsciously switch your attraction trigger. Also, if you have a hard time coming up with cool things to say and talk about while on a date, you'll enjoy a technique that will allow you to always have the right thing to say while sounding spontaneous and high status. All right, now we're going to learn how you can flip that attraction switch by behaving in a counterintuitive way. And we'll also discuss a technique that you can use to always have something interesting to say when talking to a woman. And this is really cool and important because it's going to allow you to feel confident talking to women out on dates and allow you to not only attract the quality of women that you really want, but also keep a woman around for the long run if you choose to. We're going to take what we've already learned and add a few new pieces to the puzzle. You're going to learn about the 3 modules of the Mature Men's Dating Program and some of the lessons within. Now, this is going to be super intense and fast-paced, so if you're multitasking right now or have any other distractions going, shut them down and get yourself something to write on to take some notes with. It's important that you're ready. Now, my story isn't like the template of most dating experts. In fact, it's much different. And this is one of the big reasons why this program is different. Have you ever seen one of the pickup artist videos out there that show some guy with pink hair down to his shoulders who lives on the Vegas Strip talking about how he can trick an 18-year-old girl in a dance club to make out with him? I mean, that's not where I'm at in my life, and quite honestly, that's not the quality of women that I'm going for. I mean, that's cool if you're into that, but I created this program for more mature guys who want a complete system that is explicitly tailored for them. I don't want you to always have to wonder if what you hear about dating applies to you as an older guy. It's time consuming and more importantly, it doesn't work. When you look at dating coaches and the information out there, it's almost like everyone thinks that after you turn 23, you'll just never go on another date. So they teach techniques that are only relevant to college kids. So put away the wallet chains and pickup lines because in this program, we're gonna learn a whole new paradigm around dating that shows us how to leverage the strengths that come with age and neutralize the downside. Now keep in mind, this is a proven system of strategies, concepts, shortcuts, and steps, which will coach you from the very beginning, starting with attracting women you want, all the way to establishing a long-term relationship and even marriage. One of the most important things you need to remember is that you've already done a lot of this hard work in your own life. As you age, your maturity has been honed. You have a career, a source of income. You're grounded in a way that younger guys aren't. You're kind of like a polished rock, and that polish can only come from years of life and experience. Now, all we need to be sure is ensure that you're able to let others and women see this in an honest and flattering way. There's nothing more painful than seeing a guy who's got a lot going for him. Nice car, job, big bank account, who can't get past the first 30 seconds of meeting a woman because, sadly, he never gets a chance even to show that side because he's dismissed before he's even said any words. If he only knew these concepts that would allow him to correct these simple errors, he'd be turning women down for dates rather than settling for something he's not even excited about. By the way, it's important you understand that my Mature Men's Dating Program is a high-def, video-based training course. It involves 3 in-depth modules composed of individual lessons. It shows you step-by-step instructions how to get the date, what to do on the date, and how to keep her around if you choose to. It also includes a full, never-seen-before presentation that will get you up to speed on general social interaction. So if you're currently not overly confident just being social in general, you'll love this talk. And what you're about to see is an orientation of that course. But instead of me getting too in-depth into any one segment, we're going to walk step by step through the program structure to be sure you understand all the bases you need to cover. I wanted to be sure to share some of these techniques and overarching ideas with you now. That way we can really hit the ground running and you already have some momentum when we start the program. So treat this like we're already getting started today because we are. Now, I'm going to invite you, if you can, to step aside from everything you've been told about dating and women. I know this can be a challenge after years of being bombarded with the same ideas, but I'm confident you can do it. It's important to keep an open mind because this is going to allow you to adopt a new, more accurate and high status dating mindset that will allow you to separate yourself from other guys. Some of these techniques were actually backwards engineered from men who are wildly successful with women currently. Now, let's talk about what sets guys apart that makes women actually go after, not just tolerate them. Have you ever taken a look at a romance novel written for women? They all incorporate the same, after she pleads and begs, the strong man begrudgingly takes her with him on an adventure. Take a minute and think about that word, begrudgingly. Does a man who begrudgingly brings a woman with him put her on a pedestal or try to impress her? Or is he Mr. over-the-top nice guy? No, let's talk about that. Here's a way you can immediately set yourself apart from other guys and cast yourself in a very confident light. But let's take a step back for a minute. Imagine with me you're going on a first date. Maybe you're a little nervous and you meet her in front of the restaurant and introduce yourself. Now, what have you been trying to focus on so far? Close your eyes and actually imagine walking up to her on a first date. What are you feeling? Well, you might be trying to look cool and confident and being extremely nice. Over the top, unrealistically nice. And that's okay. It's completely normal. It's what most guys do. Having been brainwashed by all these hundreds of nice dork eventually gets the cheerleader movies, but it's completely ruining your chances. Why? Well, why would you guess? What's going on in her head when you try to be the nicest guy in the world? This isn't necessarily conscious on her part. It may be completely subconscious, but what she's thinking is, why is he pretending to be so nice? This feels weird. None of my friends or family or ex-boyfriends treated me like this. What's he trying to hide? I don't know who this guy really is. All he's showing me is this fake ultra PC front. He's so blah. He's got no personality. He just agrees with everything I say. It feels creepy. Do you think a super high status guy is going to try to win girls over with niceness? No, he knows his value. He's filtering to see if she meets his standards. Now here's the key behind this. When you try to be super nice, it's actually manipulative. Like me, I'm so nice. You know, I'm not going to give you anything that you could possibly disagree with me with, so you'll have to like me. You're not even being yourself when you're awkwardly nice. I know you've heard girls say the key to women is to just be yourself. Be real, non-manipulative. Now let's look at the dynamic between a homeless beggar and someone they're soliciting on the street. They're ultra nice and friendly, but why? Well, they have a hidden agenda behind their niceness. They want something selfishly from you. And she knows and feels the exact same way when you're fake nice to her. When you're real, you'll both agree and disagree with her. And this naturally creates a flirty vibe and subcommunicates high status characteristics to you. You don't want all the girls to think you're okay and a nice guy. Oh, he's okay. You want to have the women who you really resonate with see your true personality, so the ones that do like you will really like you because they can see the true you. So try to toss in a playful disagreement to mix things up and keep her on her toes. This will lead to fun, light-hearted conversation and bring emotion into the talking. Now let me teach you a quick concept that'll allow you to go into a first date with full confidence. What's most men's biggest fear when they're on a first date? Well, that they'll run out of things to say and there'll be an awkward silence. You need to be able to hold a conversation, so if she gets quiet or nervous or maybe just isn't that talkative around new people, once you're able to do this, it not only makes you look smooth and charismatic, but it puts her at ease and she'll associate with you someone she can trust and someone who makes her feel comfortable. Have you ever seen a couple out on the town and they just look loose and at ease? Well, it's a great foundation for her to establish feelings for you. Now think back to a time when you were nervous around an especially beautiful woman and you just simply couldn't come up with anything to say. It's horrible. It can actually make you feel like you're in a cage and you simply can't leave. Well, the reason this is because our brain wants to protect us from doing or saying something stupid around a woman who could potentially be your mate. Your body is saying, well, she looks good and healthy, well proportioned, don't mess this up, the two of you could have healthy, amazing children. So our brain removes the chance of that happening by not allowing us to say anything at all. And if something does pop in our heads, our brain will tell us, oh, it's not interesting or entertaining enough, don't bring that up. And the weird thing about that is when someone is confident enough to bring something up in a group of people, even if it's not interesting, it shows that his brain is allowing him to say that, so it kind of projects confidence, and other people, their subconscious are saying, wow, he must be high status because he feels comfortable doing that. So when you are not able to come up with things to say, it's telling her subconscious, oh, maybe he's not comfortable around my quality of women, you know? He hasn't been around women of my beauty very often. That's not necessarily what I want. So let's talk about how to blow by this and get her subconscious to tell her how incredible you are and how rare of a guy you are and how she needs to hold on to you. When you first meet a woman, let's say you meet up for a date, you need to be responsible and you need to be able to carry the conversation until you get to the tipping point. And what the tipping point is just the point where she is comfortable enough around you to participate in the conversation and to say her own things and to actually throw ideas and her own thoughts into there. A lot of guys, when they go out with a woman and she's not participating, they think she's being rude or she's being coy or aloof, when in actuality, she is just nervous. Our brain naturally stifles us from being free-flowing in conversation when we're nervous. So we need to carry that burden and be able to talk as long as we need to get her to that point. And when you hit that point, it's like a switch. Immediately you'll see it. It's almost a different look she has, and she can just communicate like the way she does with their friends, where she's not in her head thinking, what's he going to say about this? What should I say about this? This is cool. This. It's just more like, oh no, I have something to say about that. Here it is. So I'm going to go through the structure, and then we're actually going to look at some live, I shouldn't say live, but recorded examples that I have to really explain this. So it's a simple algorithm, and it starts out with her statement or answer to your question. So from there, you're going to ask her a question, or maybe you just sit down and she says something. From there, the first thing you're going to do is make a comment or observation that is relevant to that statement. So it could be a story about that. It could be your experience with something like that, but you're going to throw it out there. The second thing you're going to do right back to back is throw another comment or observation out there. Now, a lot of times you're going to have more than two come up in your head. At that point, you want to pick the most open-ended, engaging, emotional, exciting comments to throw in there. Then step 3 is you're going to throw a catch-all question at the end. So what this is going to do is, if neither of the first comments are threads that she picks up on, and threads are just talking points, like different directions you can take a conversation. So if I was to talk about, in this example, talk about the Rose Bowl. So if I was going to talk about the Rose Bowl, we went to the concession stands and the hot dogs are bad. The 3 threads you could take are Rose Bowl, concession stand, or hot dog, or you could make your own and just talk about football. But if she doesn't take those first 2, you're going to throw a catch-all question, just asking her something at the end so she can at least fall back on that. So at least you have something to work with, because if she bypasses the first 2 comments, which she often will when you're first getting to know her, Then she answers the catch-all question. Well, at least you can take that and then re-loop it. So there's no reason you ever can't keep this going because you're always getting input, even if it's a yes or no answer with the catch-all question. So let's watch a few examples here. Where'd you go to school?
I just finished grad school at USC.
Oh, nice. I was a huge fan of Pete Carroll when he was there. I heard that when the Rose Bowl rolls through, it's just mayhem. How was your experience?
I had so much fun. I love the school. And yeah, when the Rose Bowl's there, it's crazy, but it's a great time.
Okay, so this is a good example of like if you are out in public and you're just meeting someone for the first time, you got to be nice and quick. You don't have time for big, long, flowery stories. So now let's watch this again, and you can see the little thing at the bottom that's going to walk you through. So it starts out, I ask her, well, where did you go to school? And she says she just finished up at USC. Where'd you go to school?
I just finished grad school at USC.
Oh, nice. I was a huge fan of Pete Carroll when he was there. I heard that when the Rose Bowl rolls through, it's just mayhem. How was your experience?
I had so much fun. I love the school. And yeah, when the Rose Bowl's there, it's crazy, but it's a great time.
Okay, cool. So you saw that she jumped on one of the comments a little bit and then answered. Actually, she answered the catch-all question first and then jumped on one of the comments. So that's really easy. That makes it nice and easy. But let's look at another example where it's more of a casual situation. Maybe you just sat down with a glass of wine and you're on a date and you've got a little more time to talk. I am going, and the girl in the second video is a little less talkative and a little more standoffish, which is fine, right? That's the way she's perceived, but she's really just in her head and a little bit nervous. So I'm going to tell a little bit more of an engaging, longer story with even more threads, still following the structure. And after we go through it, I'm going to pop up on the screen again an example that shows the structure, but just notice the difference, but how they both work in the same way. Did you cook?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, cool. So another thing I love about that place is there's like 20 different wineries all represented in one little city block right downtown.
Yeah.
And so you can go around doing wine tasting. Something about wine tasting, like when it's 2 in the afternoon and you're drinking wine, it just has such an air of sophistication. It's like you're not in a dungy bar. So we all hop on our beach cruisers and roll around and drink wine till like 4, and then we go out on State Street. And the place that we always started was this really cool kind of boutique custom cocktail place called Blush.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of it?
Blush, yeah. Me and my friends go there all the time. My friend actually lives right down the street from it, so it's always our.
Okay, so she actually jumped on comment number 2. I didn't need a catch-all question. Let's look at it again. So another thing I love about that place is there's like 20 different wineries all represented in one little city block right downtown.
Yeah.
And so you can go around doing wine tasting. Something about wine tasting, like when it's 2 in the afternoon and you're drinking wine, it just has such an air of sophistication. It's like you're not in a dungy bar. So we all hop on our beach cruisers and roll around and drink wine till like 4, and then we go out on State Street. And the place that we always started was this really cool kind of boutique custom cocktail place called Blush.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of it?
Blush, yeah. Me and my friends go there all the time. My friend actually lives right down the street from it, so it's always our go-to.
Okay, nice. So that's a great example. And now let's talk though just for a minute about what I would have done if she wouldn't have jumped on that comment about that restaurant called Blush. I would have just asked a very simple catch-all question. What's the simplest thing? How did you like living in Santa Barbara? Okay, anyone think of that? It's pretty basic. And if she says, oh, it was good, cool, I'm going to jump right back into something else. You know, on Saturday mornings, we actually used to get out there. There was beach volleyball. And so the catch-all question, yes or no answer up top, and then right back to comment observation, beach volleyball, there was this little place that would serve mojitos right at 11 o'clock in the morning, comment number 2, and then a catch-all thing. Did you get involved in any activities out there? Anything like that? You can just go forever. And usually you're only going to need between 2 or 3 of these. After you go through 4, they've heard you talk so much, they're going to get comfortable. It's really interesting. The phenomena is kind of like a speaker. So when you go to a speech and you watch a guy speak for an hour, or let's use a different example. Let's talk about a guy on YouTube or TV or a guy who hosts a talk show. When you meet him, you feel like you know him. He's never seen you before in his life, but you feel like you have this rapport with this kid because you've seen him talk for so long. So the more that she can see you talk, the more she's going to get out of her head and going to be able to contribute to that conversation. So that's the goal. What do you want to do? You just want to get to that tipping point. All right, cool. So now you should never run out of things to say. You can talk forever with this structure. Once you try this, it's an incredibly freeing feeling, even outside of being applied in dating, because when you know you can carry a conversation with anyone, anytime, you no longer have that fear of not being able to say anything and being stuck in that awkwardness. And by the way, when you join me for my Mature Men's Dating Program, you'll get my Master's in Attraction, or an Attraction MBA. This alone is worth the cost of the entire course 3 times over. I had to do 17 years of concepts, advice, and experience into one single lesson. It contains everything you need to know about attracting women and nothing more. There's so much scattered, inaccurate, incomplete, and outdated information out there, I knew it would be of the utmost importance to boil it all down into one complete lesson. Once you watch this, you'll immediately be able to take action and not have that nagging fear that you just need a little more information to go. So far, we've learned how you can utilize the charisma coat to be sure that your date's first impression of you will be flawless, and everything you do from then on will be filtered through that high status lens from her. We've learned that the common misconception of being overly nice will get you women is a fool's lie, and we've learned that it actually communicates that you have low confidence, and we now know how to act instead and how to position yourself as the kind of guy she naturally pictures herself with. We've also learned how to confidently hold a conversation and come up with cool things to say and talk about, even if she might not be the most talkative. We know that this puts her at ease and creates a natural attraction and comfort between the two of you. And next, we're going to talk about how you're going to put it all together. The Mature Men's Dating Program is a 3-module course where we'll work together, and you'll get HD video of me teaching everything to you one-on-one. Let me point this out. This isn't the standard live presentation in front of a group that's recorded and packaged and sold. This is just me and you. I will be standing right in front of you like this, getting to you, showing exactly how to get an awesome woman into your life. This enables you to be much more focused on you and doesn't waste your time with any pauses or filler. The program also includes footage of me actually demonstrating this stuff in real time. It's so awesome. I'm so proud of it. This really helps solidify the learning to you by not having to imagine what it would look like, but rather seeing me play it out firsthand. You'll finish the course with a complete system from start to finish about how to date, be in the top 1% of guys she's ever been out on a date with, and you'll oftentimes hear her say how you are the best date she's ever had. You're also going to learn how to keep her around afterwards if you choose. The question you should be asking yourself right now is, am I ready to do this? To learn how to have an amazing dating life, maybe even find your future wife. Remember, you've already done most of the work. You just need to learn a few more steps that we will do together. The first date you go on after the program will change your life, and each one will thereafter only cement your new reality further. There's 2 guys who live in my neighborhood. Both of them got divorced around 3 years ago. Brett's 28 and Danny's 37, and Brett's actually stereotypically better looking and in better shape than Danny, but he's still alone and hasn't been dating much, and quite honestly is still kind of stuck in that depressed mood that often comes after a divorce. But Danny's the complete opposite. We hang out socially and he hammers me with questions, so I've been able to share some of the knowledge from the program with him. Not the same depth or details of the program, but it's a good start. I'm actually excited for him to get a copy of the program, but the reason I bring this up is because he shared with me that he's had more success in the last year with women than the entirety of his life before he got married. And he hasn't gotten remarried because he says he's so confident and has really been enjoying himself in the dating scene, he doesn't feel compelled to. And that's not to say that he won't remarry in the future, but for now, that's what he's doing. And the reason I bring this up is because I think it's important to look at these 2 completely different paths that these 2 guys took when making decisions in your own life. Wouldn't you like to know how you can grow your confidence and have your choice with women more than you ever had like Danny? Well, I can show you how. Let's look a second at what the difference is between Brett and Danny. If you'd ask someone on the street, who's more likely to be having success with women, they'd all say Brett. He's got all the attributes that our culture says you have to get a high quality woman. However, the opposite is true. And this happened because Danny got the training and education needed to understand this stuff. You remember the software analogy I talked about earlier? How just like a computer would need Microsoft Word installed if you wanted your computer to run Microsoft Word? Well, Danny got the software, the knowledge that instructed him how to be successful in the dating scene, and Brett didn't. It's as simple as that. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do for you in the program. I'm gonna upload the system and skill sets that you need. Success looks like knowing that regardless of the troubles and baggage that you may have in your past, you can confidently not only start dating successfully, but also stand out as the type of man that women actually pursue. It's understanding how to leverage all the attractive positives that come with being an older man and being attractive to women of all ages. Success is being confident that you have the ability at any time to attract the perfect woman into your life and keep her around if you choose. What would happen if you knew that you had access to an unlimited amount of dates with high quality women who are exactly your type? What if you had full confidence that you knew exactly what to do, what to say, and what moves to make on a date? What if you knew it would be your choice whether you wanted to keep dating her because you knew for sure that she wanted to continue seeing you? See, it's important in my life to never feel creepy or sleazy, and this program ensures that you won't either. It'll allow you to present your authentic, best version of yourself and be sure that women get a chance to see all of your positive attributes. But before I tell you more about the program, I have to give you a warning because I'm gonna offer you a discounted price for 24 hours, then we're gonna close down the discount and the price will return to the regular retail rate. So first off, you get the 3 modules. I've broken them up into 15 core lessons. Then after the program's over, you'll still have access, so you'll be able to go back and review the material at your own leisure. I think you'll find that the ability to go back and review the materials is awesome. In Module 1, we'll cover how to get the date. You'll learn everything you need to know to be able to find, attract, and set up dates with awesome women who will be excited to go out with you. None of this, I guess I'll give them a chance. Give them a chance? You'll be giving her a chance. And you'll truly feel this way after you've completed this module. You also won't have to worry about any of this walking up and starting conversations in public. In module number 2, on the date, you'll learn how to be the guy she's been waiting for. This isn't some magic potion. These are easy to explain, empirically deduced strategies that will allow you to take her on the best date of her life and have her being the one asking when you guys get to hang out again. In module 3, titled Keep Her Around, you're gonna learn how to keep her forever attracted to you if you decide to enter a relationship with her. No more hoping that she'll accept your pining to go out with you again. She'll be texting you and presenting opportunities for the 2 of you to hang out. From there, you'll find out the best ways to enter that long-term relationship or even marriage if you're inclined. And this is powerful stuff that'll set you up for long-term success, not the normal weak relationships that have an over 50% chance of ending in divorce if you get married. What should you do if you haven't been on a date in a long time? How can you find the type of girl you're interested in, not just ones who hang out at bars? How can you be attractive to women who are 10, 15, or even more years younger than you? How can you set up an online profile that incorporates best practices from millions of interactions and profiles that will have women reaching out to you and have a high percentage chance of them replying to your messages? Here's one I get asked a lot. What if you're a little bit out of shape like most guys over 30 are? How do you make this a non-issue? How do you get your core confidence back as a man and wake up every day feeling empowered and pleased with your dating life? Okay, that was a brief description about what you're going to get in the modules, but our time is tight. Bottom line is we're gonna cover a lot of ground during the program, and you're gonna come out on the other side with an entirely new dating life and romantic options. In other words, you're gonna have the confidence and choice with women that most men never will. But that's not enough. I want to take you beyond just a plan and right into action. So I'm going to give you explicit lines and talking points that you can literally recite to women to get your social confidence rolling with a full head of steam. Well, you're probably thinking this is a pretty nice program that I've got for you, but I want a crushing program so over the top it's impossible to refuse. I thought long and hard about how I could make this program even better for you. And I came up with not one, but two special bonuses. Both of these bonuses will give you a step change improvement in your skill sets. The first bonus was constructed from 17 years of trial and error and built on the input from many others. It's a deep thesis that explains everything you need to know about optimizing how you drink alcohol on a date. It's going to let you get all the upsides of it, of which there are many, and skate around the negatives. Whether you're a big drinker or social drinker or don't drink at all, this is actually a huge aspect of the first few dates no one's talking about. Now you'll be one of the few who's educated to this and can use it. The second bonus, which is what makes this a total no-brainer, covers exactly how to touch a woman in a way that is exciting and non-creepy. And this truly can be the make or break to the connection you have with a woman. Many times when touch is initiated, it can either amplify or kill the attraction between you two. This is going to teach you a full escalation from first touch all the way through, which will allow you to act confidently knowing you're doing it right. If you add up the value of these two bonuses, you're already past the price of the course. So by now you're probably wondering, what is the price of the course? Well, the reality is it costs the same as 1 or 2 bad dates and will ensure that you don't ever have to waste time and money on them again. The price of the program is $247, but if you join me now, I'll discount the price by $100, which means you need to be willing to invest $147 to get full access to the Mature Men's Dating Program. This covers mine and my team's time for putting it all together for you and ensures a top-tier program with elite exclusive content. One last thing, I'm choosing to share my knowledge with other guys because I know how much this helped me in my life and my overall satisfaction once I figured it out. It sounds corny, but I get a huge amount of satisfaction when other guys are able to flip their dating lives around like I did. I really can't think of another skill set that you can improve your life and quality of life as much as this did for me. Since I started helping guys with this, I've been honing it and refining it and working on it and perfecting it. And the result is a method and a system that my students have applied successfully. I've successfully taught others to apply this formula over and over again, and all of these people had reasons why it wouldn't work for them, but it did, and it'll work for you regardless of what excuse you may have for yourself right now. Remember, it's all about baby steps. It's about taking that first action and building on that action, gradually improving and gradually creating the dating life you desire, and find an awesome woman that you deserve. If you're ready to have that kind of success, then your next step is to click the order button below and get registered for the Mature Men's Dating Program. A minute ago, I was talking about two neighbors who were recently divorced and how they went down two very different paths. Danny now has the dating life he always wanted and is able to select a woman that he wants to settle down with if he chooses to do so. And Brett's still stuck in that kind of depressed, stagnant rut. The only difference between the two is Danny got the education and training, or software as I like to put it, which enabled him to be successful. But that success is not from hard work on Danny's part. It's just that he now has the knowledge contained in the program. That education has transformed the quality of his life, how women treat him, his overall social confidence, and the quality of women that he has in his life. His feeling of success and overall satisfaction in life. The difference in his life is just breathtaking, and every one of those areas is dramatically better today than it was a few short years ago when he learned this stuff. If you tried to take that education back from Danny, he wouldn't unlearn it for all the money in the world, as he always says. You've got a decision to make, and I can't make it for you. The only thing I can tell you is the Mature Men's Dating Program absolutely works. It's worked for me and many others. Now, after you go on a date with a woman who you would have thought was way out of your league and get an incredible response from her, you're truly going to feel like a kid who just got a key to the candy store. Your life is never going to be the same again. But if you decide to pass up on this investment, your life won't be any better tomorrow than it is today. Your time is now. It's time to step up and get this area of your life handled. There's never been a better time. But you have to act now. The discount will be ending soon. Now's the time to act. Enroll in the Mature Men's Dating Program and bring that awesome power of having choice with women into your life. Click the button below and join me now. This is your time, and I would love to serve you in coaching you into your success. Click the button below and I will see you on the other side.